Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 6:30 on Saturday the 6th of June. Just making my way down to the land, and as you can see, complete difference in the weather today from previous videos. So not quite sure what we'll get done, but let's find out. Well, here we are, down on the land. Completely different type of day to what we've had for the last few weeks. Been praying for rain, and when you pray for rain, sometimes you've got to deal with the mud that comes with it. And I suspect that's what we'll be doing this week, and maybe next week if it keeps up. But I'm pleased to see it. The garden definitely does need it. My IBC water tanks definitely do need it. Desperately wanting them topped up this last few weeks, so I'm quite happy it's here. Does mean, of course, that there's going to be a limit as to what I can get done outside today. Certainly won't be any grass cutting going on, but there's plenty to keep me busy inside the cabin and the polytunnel. So as usual, we'll make it up as we go along, and I'll keep you up to date with whatever progress we can make today. Well, first things first, on a day like this, definitely need a cup of coffee, and I've just got a little fire going in the wood burner, so now I can warm the cabin up. It's not too cold, but I think it will be after I've been here for a few hours, and we'll see what jobs we can get done. Well, quick check in the polytunnel, see how everything's progressing, and everything seems to be quite in order. That watering system that I put in, you can see that it's drip feeding the plants there. It's not 100% that I want it, but it is drip feeding. The ones at this end nearest to the tank sometimes don't quite pick it up. I think it's a gravity feed issue, so I do need to explore a pump solution. I have brought a few smaller pumps in just to have a play with that over the weekend, but everything's looking okay. And to say that it was, what day would it be, Thursday I think, that I was in here and gave them some water, they're all looking okay. I do need to do something with these cucumbers. You can see now they're all going crazy and there's tendrils going everywhere. There'll be some picking off of side shoots required on those, and similarly now I've got some of these tomatoes racing away. They'll need some of the side shoots nipping out as well, so I'll spend probably the next half hour or so just gradually going through those and pulling out the side shoots. Outside, let's take a quick look since we're on the subject of plants. Everything's coming on well. Mixture of pumpkin and squash in that little, it's not a raised bed, it's a big pot. The Jerusalem artichoke also putting on lots of growth. This rain over the last couple of days has undoubtedly helped. The wood burning stove is going crazy. Potatoes filled out the barrels there. The last one I planted, too early yet to be expecting anything to come out of that. Raised beds with the pots in, doing very well. That second bed that was slightly behind, and there was a bit of a concern at one point whether they'd actually start to re-sprout or not. They clearly are, and the first bed I put in are going crazy. There is one there though that I don't know what's up with that. It seems to be stunted and it's got quite a few yellow leaves on, which is a bit bizarre, but everything else is raced away. Pumpkin, something keeps digging in this bed. There was a huge hole somewhere around here the other day. I filled it in, and now you can see that Something's been digging again in this. Don't know what the attraction is with that, but something's clearly fascinated by it. They're not eating the plants, they're just digging holes. And similarly on this squash bed, something's been digging around this side here. But they're not eating the plants, which is good. So I'm going to get myself in the polytunnel, pluck out some of those side shoots, and then I'm hoping I can do some work on that big cabinet, because I've got some wood for that now, but we'll see. Just been taking out the side shoots on those tomatoes, and came across, look at the cucumbers on this side of the tunnel with the peas, and the peas are actually starting to flower, which is quite surprising. It's not really a very tall plant, that, but they're flowering nonetheless, which is good. The others are just steadily growing away. They seem to be taking quite some time to get established, but they are going nonetheless. So I'm just going to have a little play with the side shoots on these cucumbers, try and train them up against the plastic mesh on the side of the polytunnel, because only one is clinging on there at the moment. Those carrots that I put in as a second crop are coming up quite nicely. Some decent growth coming on those now, and the pots are filling out. There's lots of others that are starting to come out now, so it won't be long before they're going outside either. Some of you should remember this from previous videos. I built the framing out for this big storage cabinet. I'm just busy now that I've got a little supply of some sheet. I'm just trying to figure out how I can sheet that out and put some doors on. Same fashion as the workbench cabinet. In fact, it's this very same sheeting material as the workbench cabinet. Dimensions, of course, aren't standard. They certainly aren't standard sheets either, so there's going to be a bit of cutting involved, and before we can get to the cutting, a bit of figuring out to be done as to how I actually do divide up this cabinet. But it's a nice day now. The sun's finally come out above the trees. There is rain on the horizon. You can see it over there with the black clouds. Just been giving the little red tractor a run just to keep it ticking over, and the field's looking very nice and green, having had a bit of rain. But that does mean, of course, that the grass is suddenly going to start to shoot up, so I suspect over the coming weeks little red tractor's going to be kept busy trying to keep on top of this grass. Anyway, enough talking. I need to get back in and figure out this cabinet. I do want to try and get that done today. I guess it's a case of seeing what materials we've got and how far they'll stretch. But we're slowly making progress with this cabinet. Side is in, which is nice. I've now got a cross frame on the front to take the doors. Essentially these plywood sheets I've got, just drop that in loose for now so you get the idea. So 2 doors at the bottom, 2 doors at the top, and then I'll shelve in the middle. Well, the first doors are in at the bottom of the cupboard. I have to say that was a huge pain trying to get those level, because clearly the floor isn't. But anyway, bottom doors are in, which should make lining up the top doors a little bit simpler. I don't know if you can hear, but the rain has returned with a bit of a vengeance, and we've got this really strong wind as well, which is not helping. Don't panic with the smoke, it's the wood burner. I was going to turn it off, But when this wind and rain came back, I decided not to. Those trees are taking a bit of a pounding up there. Unfortunately, so is the polytunnel, but we'll see how we get on. It's exceedingly slow progress, but it is progress. That's the first of the top doors in. Quite a bit of cursing involved trying to get those to line up, which clearly they do now. I'm sure these things are sent to test our patience, but we're gradually getting there. I'm just sticking the hinges onto the fourth door now, so we'll see how we get on lining that up. Well, there we go. That's the cabinet exterior finished. 4 doors, sides on. I need to cut some shelving, which will be a little bit fiddly because it needs some pieces chopping out to fit round the internal framing, but progress, we're getting there. Clearly needs some bolts and hasps and doorknobs and stuff attaching to the doors, but we're getting there. Well, that's the first shelving. It's a bit of an awkward to cut because I've got all of these framing joists to cut around, but it's in, it's solid, it's not going anywhere, and I do believe if I pop that on, yeah, it's level, so happy days. That's the first one. Well, there we go. Second shelf in, and again it's level, so that's good. Got doors, just need some door furniture, some not hinges, some hasps and doorknobs and bolts, but I don't actually have those. I got the knobs but I haven't got the hasps and the bolts, so I'll just finish it off another time, but the structure's in, it's enclosed, which is all that matters. Well, short day today. That's the cabin locked up. Everything in the polytunnel's been watered. It actually didn't need a great deal. The self-watering's working quite well actually, I'm surprised. Clearly the beds don't need it because it's still raining. It just keeps coming on and off through the day. Everything's looking nice and healthy. That wind isn't giving up. It's getting really quite strong now. You can see on the polytunnel probably. It's not doing it any favours, certainly. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to get myself off before the heavens open again, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow.
Well, that's it for this video. Short but sweet, as I had to get off and do some domestic chores later on in the afternoon. But hopefully there was something in there that was of interest to you. So if you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's the cabinets looking? Very, very fiddly job that. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.